Hey there, Vanagon addicts. I don't know if any of you guys are out there yet watching, but welcome to Vanagon live stream here. It is July 21st, 2017. Last week, you guys were somewhat concerned about what was going on with us. It wasn't anything bad at all. It was that we had to take some kids to camp and actually bring them home on Friday. So I pre-recorded our live stream for you guys. Hope you enjoyed the boot super short one. Sorry about it being so short, but you can see got a guest star back there in the back. That's my dad, Ken Sr., and he's just in here hanging out with us today. It is super hot here in New Jersey today. I have no idea what the temperature is, like a bagillion degrees hotter than the sun, and so I have been working outside in the heat. We actually did bunches of videos today already. I kind of thought, why do a live stream? I already did like 6 videos today, but what the heck? We'll do a live stream. So if you get a chance to look on our video page, we actually did a bunch of videos, series of videos today on a project I've been talking to you guys about for a few weeks, which is a backup camera / dash cam for the Vanagon.
Can I shout out Minx Made really quick?
All right,
Minx. He said, "I'm first, what do I win?" And I said, "You win a shout out."
He wins a chicken dinner.
Shout out
winner,
to Minx
winner,
Made.
Chicken dinner.
You were the first.
All right, so we got a shout out. That's from my partner in crime, Leah, over there. She's been working for me this week and doing a great job. We'll talk about that in a few minutos. All right, but right now we've got our backup camera deal. If you get a chance to watch those videos, here it is right here. It is just basically looks like a mirror, but it actually has, as you can see, a video thing in it, video monitor, and then you can do a bunch of different things. It also has a forward-facing, I'm trying to hold this, forward-facing camera over here. I did some recording with that. It has a microphone, so you can record all your private, super secret private conversations that you want the police to find out about later. I don't know. Or you can push a button and it won't record the audio. So for some of you guys, that'd probably be best. Just FYI. But you have this forward-facing camera. If the forward-facing video looks a little blurry, it's because I actually left the lens protection plastic over it when I was doing the video. I just now took it off. But it still was pretty good, pretty clear. And now it's going to be better. So that's that, and it just hooks onto your mirror with these little rubber thong deals that snap on. And so it's pretty cool. I'm going to be putting it onto the store. The price of it is probably going to be $99.95, which I think is pretty good. You are going to have to purchase at least an 8 gig little tiny SD card for this because it doesn't come with one for some reason. And you need it to record your video. Like, the whole idea of it is, you know, dash camera, you're recording as you're driving and having a record that way. It actually records backwards and forwards at the same time, like the rear camera and the front camera simultaneously. And so it's nice. Okay, so just wanted to kind of summarize. Do we have any things here? You know, if you guys have any questions, definitely put them over here in the chat area, and we will try to address questions that way. Also, in our description, you will see a link to our PayPal account. If you want to send us a donation because we helped you out, definitely do it that way. PayPal, I'm only paying a couple % for a donation. If you do a super chat in the YouTube, that is also appreciated, but they take 30% of that, so not too sporty. Yeah, that's kind of that's a downer. Okay. And also, if you guys enjoy the video today, definitely give us a thumbs up. If you give us a thumbs down, that's perfectly fine, but please tell me why so I can fix it. Now, if you say, Ken, it's because of you, get rid of yourself, then I will take a trip to Belize and I will leave you with a blank screen for an hour. Okay, so there you go. All right, do we have anything over there?
It still makes me just chilling at us.
All right, so we got 7 viewers right now. I have a little deal thing I want to talk about, so let me grab that. We can talk about that while you guys think of questions. All right, so sometimes people have problems in their van with their horn not working properly. One of the things that can cause this is this piece right here. This is your horn ring, goes on the back of your steering wheel. Excuse me. Or this little piece right here, this is the piece that touches this. Okay, this is how this works. So as you're turning your steering wheel, this little brass finger is touching against this. I'm having a hard time showing it for some reason. This little contact here on the back of the steering wheel. So as you're going down the road, you turn the steering wheel, they're both touching all the time. So that no matter what orientation the steering wheel is, and you can kind of see as I'm doing it right there, it can have a connection and it can honk. Okay. Well, over time you will hear this really crappy sound when you turn your steering wheel. It's like, and then yeah, it sounds like that, except like worse. That's usually this piece right here. It starts to wear out and it gets all kind of wrecked a little bit. And then this piece on here actually turns into like a little razor knife and it starts attacking this piece. So what I'm trying to say is if your horn has stopped working, don't go to the farm supply store and buy one of those old man horns buttons. You guys know what I'm talking about. The old man horn button. Because I've seen this in lots of vans. They take the old man horn button, the Uga horn button from a Model T days, they strap it to the side of the steering column, and then as you're driving along, your knee touches it. Boop, boop, beep, boop, boop. Don't do that. That's so bobo. I've seen people do that with duct tape. That's duct taped it on. Just duct tape it on there. Electrical tape, tie wrap it on there, because it's just a horn. Who cares about the horn? It just, as long as it beeps. And come on, guys, get classy. Let's get classy, all right? So how we get classy is we fix it right. How you fix it right is you put this piece on. You put a new one of these deals on. If there's still this here, if this finger is still in good shape, you can use a file on it and make it smooth again and kind of repair it a little bit. That would be the good way to do that. If this copper piece or this bronze piece or whatever is completely shredded to bits, you need to purchase the headlight, okay, the stalk for that. Okay, so you got these two stalks coming off of here, okay. One is for your wipers. That's going to be on the right side. Then you got the other one that's actually your turn signals and your headlights. So the one that you want is the turn signals and the headlights one. That one has the part of it that has this piece for the horn. Okay? And you have to buy the whole thing. You can't just buy this little piece. I don't know why. That would be great, because actually you can actually pop this out of here and this whole piece and this pin and everything comes out. So this is just what you can get right now. It's got the headlights, the turn signal stalk. But what if you have the super rare one that has your cruise control on it, right? Them things, you can't buy them for love or money. And yet you would still have to buy this whole deal. You can swap this little piece into your older OEM cruise control, one that has a turn signal thing, and repair it. Okay, but that's the only way to buy it. You have to buy this whole piece, okay, this section. Now, another thing I want to talk about this. So then some people call me and they say, Ken, my high beam stopped working. I need that turn signal one with the high-low beam thing on it. I need that. I say, no, you don't need that. What you need is the wiper assembly. They said, no, you don't understand. My high beam stopped working. So I need the high beam switch on the left side with the turn signal. The problem is, okay, here's the assembly. These two pieces are put together. All right, now over here, this is your high-low beam switch. Okay, so when you pull the high beams, it clicks it. Okay, see here, clicky. clicky clack. It's like just like when you make it click, just like you're doing your doing seatbelt. Okay, so this is how it works, but here's the problem. Are you ready? I'm taking it apart. Okay, if you take it apart, the headlight high beam switch is this thing right here. It is actually part of the wipers. Okay, see the wiper emblem on there? It's actually part of the opposite piece of what actually actuates it, which is this other piece, the turn signal piece. Now, it just has this little tiny plastic thing on the bottom, that little finger, that grabs that switch and makes it click. Sometimes that little finger will break off. If that happens, then you can definitely get the turn signal, high beam, low beam, okay, and you'll be good. If that finger's still there, then you need your wiper deal, okay? There you go. I clicked it for reals. Now I clicked it again, okay? And so we have all this stuff in stock. This is made by JP Group, okay, which is a Denmark company from Denmark, Europe. So there you go. All right, so that's my little explanation on that. Now you will know about the high beams and also the horn deal. And if I would always replace these two pieces together if this is damaged or this is damaged. Like if you just do one, then the other one's going to get damaged as soon as you put it back together. We have any stuffs over here?
No, Minx just said Grandpa was bored.
Yeah, well, he's just back here chilling. All right.
He's super chill. Oh yeah, I was hoping you was gonna show off your Serial Combi swag.
So I got me some swag from France. My friends at Serial Combi sent me this dope frisbee, and also extremely fancy pin. I mean, look at this pin. This is so huge. It's hard to get it all in one shot. It's so big. This is a pin you can stick on your hat or somewhere. And then, even better than that, I mean, I need this in here because the studio is so bright. I'm so bright. I gotta wear shades. Look, it matches my hat. You see that? It matches. The colors match together. So I'm gonna wear that for the rest of the time, just so you. And I'm just giving a shout out to Serial Combi. These guys are really cool. They are in France. They basically are Ban Again, except in France. Okay, and the guy that runs it, I believe, is a guy named Pascal. He's a really cool dude. And so I say hi to everyone in France.
Nate says he sent you an email. He says, I have some swag to send you.
Yeah, he said, if you got swag, I'm into the swag. I mean, you see all my vehicles over here, all the vehicles. And then you see all my stuff back here. This is all like Hot Wheels cars and stuff. People gave that to me as presents. It's all good. It's all good. And then you can't even see all the stuff I have on the other walls, which is like cards people send me from the road. Okay, and stuff like that. Look, as soon as I put the sunglasses on, I got like 5 more viewers. So, good job, Serial Combi. You got like viewer magnet sunglasses here. All right, so you guys got any more questions? I had a question. One person this week. One person.
Minx just wants to know what the address is to send.
The address. Send your address. Send your pictures to
email
dear old
back.
Captain Noah. Oh, sorry. That's the wrong show.
The address.
The address is 2001 Lakeshore Drive, Millville, New Jersey, 08332. You can mail your checks, make them payable to Van Again. So leave the amount blank. Because that would be great. I would love that.
Oh,
especially if you have lots of money in the bank.
Checks. No.
Just leave the amount completely blank, and I will fill it in. Do not worry.
He's kidding.
Yeah, I guess so.
Minx says,
Unless you're a super eccentric rich person, I can definitely do that.
Minx just said, thanks for helping me with my Vanagon rookie days.
Yeah, I know. I have people that call me, so you guys don't understand. I have a comforting voice that comforts those that are in sad distresses, and some people will call me every day. Do not, I love that in a way, but and other times you don't know what's happening here all the time. And people will call me every single day about their Vanagon woes, and I'll talk to them about it on the phone. And it's fine and dandy and everything, but yeah. So sometimes people go through that phase. I know Dan went through that phase a while back, but now he's grown up. He's a Vanagon spurt, as they say. The technical term is a Vanagon spurt.
Your wife says you look awesome.
My wife says I look awesome. See? She's going to give me a big hug later. Wearing these sunglasses.
We actually have a question.
Maybe I should let my dad wear the sunglasses.
From Daniel Peckham. Do you have to take off the coolant hoses to get to the plastic Y connector to change the intake fuel line at the firewall? Will coolant gush out if you take those two big hoses off?
Yes, they will definitely gush out. That's like pretty much like stabbing it in his jugular vein. So you don't need to do that, though. You can get under those hoses. I think he's talking about on a 1.9 probably. You can go under that. You can take that and kind of push the hoses up a little bit, take that plastic piece off, throw it into the nearest trash receptacle. Never speak of it again because it is the devil. Okay, so totally great. I love wearing these vests because now I don't have to like stupid places. Oh my gosh, I hate that so bad. And last video I did, last live stream, I looked like I was all cross-eyed and so I was like, oh. I was staring at the camera and it was like I started seeing colors and going to other dimensions and everything. It was pretty bad.
Shout out to Inorganic. Inorganic is back again.
Hey, Inorganic. Hope you're still in our galaxy.
And he says, can you give some advice on how to change the gravity-fed fuel line from expansion tank to fuel filter on a synchro, trying not to get a face full of fuel next time?
Well, you can always get some, like these things that pinch the lines. Or you can use a pair of vice grips and just try to put some cardboard or something, like cushioning it that way. But like I have these little, they look like pliers, but they actually just pinch off lines. And that would be the best way to do it. You want to pinch off the lines before you try to take something out. You're still going to get a little bit of fuel out, but it's going to be a lot less than if you don't pinch off the lines. Or, you know, if you don't care about getting a little bit of fuel, but you want to have like a little bolt or something to shove into the line just so it doesn't go everywhere. Okay, so that would be a good idea as well. But yeah, I usually have like these vice grips too that are like almost, the jaws are just straight like this and they grab. And as long as you don't like twist it so it's, you know, totally crushing it forever, they won't hurt the hose. If you just, like for a little fuel hose, you can do that with it.
Camp Run Amok is back.
Billy Shepherd. What's up?
He says, hey.
Hey, man, how you doing? It's good to have Billy Shepherd back with us again. He bought the 20th distributor this week. Another 1.9 distributor this week. I did a video, Billy Shepherd, today on how to take that distributor out and put it back in. I did it just for you so you can not mess that up. Okay? All right. No, I actually did it because I was outside testing a bunch of distributor things and stuff for another guy. Sometimes people have problems with their electronic ignition pieces and stuff, and I will, you know, they will say, I don't know how to know if I need this or not. I'm like, the easiest way to know is just put it into a van that's running good and see if it still runs good. And they're like, I only have this one. So they'll mail stuff to me and I'll test it for them. And usually, if they need it, they'll buy it from me. So that's how I benefit. I mean, I like to be nice, but I like to also not go broke and live in a cardboard box in another room.
Inorganics, can you give us your thoughts on the Shoebox Electronics ECU monitor tool?
Sure, I got one. Let me get it real quick. So originally, this was actually made by a guy named Daryl Bowler, who's a friend of mine. And you basically get your ECU modified like this. It doesn't actually print out. Like this is a printer cable on here, but it doesn't actually, print out anything. Instead, it hooks to this deal here, which is also old school guys, 1980s printer cable, back in the day. And then you got, this is, you love my beautiful writings on here. This is my version of this. This is one that Daryl made for me probably 15 years ago. The ones that are sold now are made by a totally different person. Daryl stopped making them. I don't really know why, because they're pretty nice. And you can see all this stuff. When you crank up the car, you can see all your things up here. They have lights at the top. And it's super helpful. Like, I've had times where the computer went bad. You can't really see that on here, but you can see, are you having power to the computer? Because that can go bad. You can see if your starter, when that engages, that lights up. You have a one for the fuel pump. You have your throttle position switch. When that is clicking on and off, it actually lights this light up. And it's great. And then the last two are your coils and your fuel injectors. When they're pulsing, it's flickering. And sometimes you can tell something that way, like if they're not flickering just right, like they're staying more steadier than flickering. Once you use it for a little while, you kind of get the thing of it. Then you got your digital readout here, which I think it's backlit. I can't remember. And then it's got different things on here. So you got temp 1. That's inside the airflow meter. You can check that out. Temp 2, that's your coolant temp sensor. Oxygen sensor, you can sit there and watch that. It's like fluctuating around, I think, a half a volt, plus and minus. Airflow meter, see resistances changing. That's what the book says, just resistance changing. And then your last one down here is ECU voltage, which would be how much voltage you actually have at your ECU. And sometimes that's telling because you won't have 12.5 volts. You might have less than that. And why? Because there's a bad wire or something like that. So I would definitely recommend the shoebox deal. It's out there still. I haven't ever sold that particular version of it. I used to sell Daryl's version until he decided to stop selling it. I don't know why. He was great. He is a great person. He's still alive, still doing things in the Vanagon world and stuff. So yeah, and the other nice part about this is all real time. So you're driving the car down the road, you're seeing all these things happening in real time. For me, I keep it here. You see, it's not in the car. It's here as a diagnostic tool. Because just to be super honest with you, it's very distracting. When you're driving down the road normally and you're seeing all this stuff, yeah, you could be crashing and stuff. Oh, my oxygen sensor is like negative 0.75 volts right now. Oh no! And then it's, oh wait, now it's plus 7.5. Oh, it's fine now. Yeah. All right. So anyway,
Makes an inorganic definitely enjoyed that. And Billy says, do you have any more 1.9 distributors? Know a guy that might want one?
So as far as I know, they are still available. I sold out all the ones that are here. Plus, I sold a rebuilt one that was here. That's also gone. I have some more on order from Germany. So hopefully in about 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know. Actually, you know what? They are in stock at this one place. I can get them in a couple of days. So if the person really wants it super bad, I could get it for him next week. Okay, so just let him know that. And I will put, maybe I'll put a couple more up on the site. Right now I have it set to back order and stop, but I can maybe put 2 more on there and just let people know it's going to take until probably Wednesday for them to show up here. All right, what else, guys? What else?
Inorganic just says, thanks for the review. Much appreciated.
Yeah, no problem. That, that tool has saved me so much time over the years. I mean, as people wonder about, like sometimes I've had the temp 2 sensor and it's tested fine. And then you go drive in the car and it starts out fine. And then as it warms up, it goes like the reading goes off the charts. And the same thing with the throttle position switch. That'll test fine. You set it, adjust it, everything's great. And you drive around, as the thing warms up, it goes out of adjustment from just the heat of the car things. And you wouldn't be able to see that unless you were seeing it in real time. Okay, so that's why I think that's a great tool to use.
Is that a newer one?
The one I have is the prototype-ish one. So it's probably really valuable. Like it's worth millions of dollars because it's the prototype, it's the one they did before they did the shoebox edition one. Now, if you want to purchase it for $1 million, I will sell it to you. All right, so just FYI, I threw it out there, or send one of those blank checks we were talking about earlier. Either way, I'll accept either of those. All right, do we have any more stuff and things? Do we have any people that are watching us from other countries or far, far away in another galaxy, even like the inorganic guy? Because he's like apparently not a human being. We're all organic here. At least I am. Okay.
It was just mixed. It was like, T-Rex, is it super hard for you to type being a T-Rex at all? I'm like, yes, my little arms are quite the hindrance.
Her little tiny arms, they have a hard time touching the screen. All right, I mean, I have something else here. It's kind of a big, bulky deal, but I can pull it out. All right, so last time we had a live stream, we were talking about the gas tank fill-up leak syndrome. And I shouldn't have talked about that because as soon as I talk about something, then it happens to me. So I have this red Westie that I'm preparing to sell at some point in the future. Got it on the road and decided to fill it with gas. One of the first things I always do with every new Vanagon that I drive here or get here. And of course, it was just like cascading beautiful rivulets of gasoline everywhere at the Wawa. So got back here, and after I got to my depression, decided definitely need to take the gas tank out. And the weird part on this one was I knew the guy that owned the van, he had did like all this work. I mean, this van was like, he had a list of every system in the van. He was going through it, fixing this, fixing that. He had resealed the gas tank not very long before it sat. And yet now it's just running everywhere. So what had happened was apparently he had brand new seals in there, but they had melted. You know, this was probably like 10 years ago, right when the ethanol gas thingy thing started happening. And so apparently the OE seals and the ethanol gas just didn't go together. And the original seals were there, but they were just kind of like, they're just like and so I had to take the gas tank out. Once I took it out, it is the original gas tank, and because the seals had melted or whatever, mice had been dancing on top and playing, and there was like a whole mice world on there, whole mice country. There was like 60,000 acorns and stuff, because apparently that's what mouse country is all about, acorns. And so all that crap got inside the gas tank, plus the gas itself had got, basically become garbage from sitting in there all those years. And so, I'm trying to drain the gas out of the gas tank, and it gets to a certain point where I get like about 5 gallons out. And I had just filled it up, right? What's it got, like 12 gallons, 15, 13 gallons? Drained out 5 gallons, it stopped. I'm like, hold up, there's like at least another 5 gallons in here. Took some shop air, blew it up into the gas tank, through the supply line to the fuel pump. Nothing happened. I'm like, all right, let me put this line in this tank, and I'll go do something else. So I did something else for a couple of hours, came back. Guess what? That tank was full of gas. So the other 5 gallons came out. Then, I'm still tapping on the tank. It still sounds like there's gas in there, and nothing more will come out. So I pulled it out. This thing it's done. It's done. Okay. So I have a new gas tank right here. That's going to go in. I just wanted to show you guys this gas tank real quick.
Minx definitely wants to see it. Also, SD Rooter is back.
Hey, SD Rooter.
Watching us from Canada.
Okay. All right. Shout out to Canadians.
And they're really colorful, Mommy.
You got it.
I really like the color. Like, it's all kinds of different colors and has maple leaves on it and everything. Looks pretty.
I'm sorry your money is not worth a whole lot right now, though. I have like a lot of it in my PayPal account right now. All right, so let me see if I can get. I wish it was worth more. Make it go up in value. All right, so this is a gas tank, brand new gas tank. This is the one that we have used probably for 15 years. It's actually made in Taiwan, So just FYI on that. Pretty much, if it's a silver tank, that is the Taiwan tanks. When you get them, sometimes these little pieces, the little fins around the edge will be, bent up a little bit in the box. That doesn't do anything. So that should be fine. You just take a pair of vice grips, straighten it out. Okay, that doesn't really hurt anything. All right, so let me kind of show you what's going on here. So here's your gas tank. Here is your hole for your level sending unit. Okay, you can see this hole, it's like stamped out of here, and it has all these ridges. When you go to put the new unit in, it goes in and then it gives it like a little quarter turn. What I found with some of these aftermarket tanks is because it's not really finished that great inside here, there's like some sharp edges. It tries to cut into the plastic of where this level sender. So what I'll do is I will take a screwdriver and just bend these up the front edge of it, like the one that's going to go up against the ramp of the level sender. I'll bend it just a tiny hair, and I will also clean up the edge here so it's not so sharp. So when you go to turn this, it turns. Because if you don't do that, you're going to go to turn it, it's going to try to cut into the thing. All right, somebody's trying to call us right now. Hold on. Let me decline it.
Hold calls until the end.
Don't call us right now, please.
Hold your calls.
That's right. Hold all the calls until Roy Popeil is done with this spiel. Oh my gosh. All right. I'm not just going to drop this tank. So I'm just going to wait for it to go boo-doo-doo one more time. Okay. So then we've got our, I just hope they don't call back immediately. Like 25 times in a row. We've also got our vent line things here on the top. Okay, you can see these little stoppers in there. There's one here, one here. Hand me that crossover tube there above your noggin.
This?
Yeah, that one. Wait. Just out. That'll work.
There we go.
All right, so this goes from here to here. Okay, you can see that. Snaps in that hole and that hole. You do have to take these little rubber black pieces off and stick them in the holes first and make sure they're seated in there good. Then I usually take some Vaseline, put on that, and then when you actually go to put this on, you actually have to put this, like hang this in the van on the frame. There's a little hook, and you can see where it has this kind of indentation right here. That's where the hook would go. And then when you go to put it into the tank, you actually put the tank up, and then you have to reach into the wheel wells and pop these into the top of the tank. It's kind of hard to explain it in a way. Then you just have to do it. But you can't just, unfortunately, you can't just put this in the top of the tank, then put the tank up in there, because there's pipes and different linkages and stuff that this has to go on top of this vent piece. It has to go over those. So, that's why you have to kind of install it that way. Also, we have these little metal tubes here on either side. There's one here. There's one on this side. Okay. And you hook some fuel line on them, and that's going to go to that tank that's in the wheel well. I have one of them sitting here. It goes to your tank in the wheel well. And how I normally install these, okay, this is the easiest way to do it that I found. You put your little hoses on here. Then there's a piece of hard line, okay. Then I put those on the tank on both sides, okay. Then I'll actually take the piece of hard line and stick it into this hole here and this hole here, okay, on each side. I'll do it on this side, do it on that side. That keeps the hose from getting pinched between here and the frame, because when you put this up, this is up against the frame, okay. So you stick them in there. Then when you get ready to, get the tank up in there, you reach through the wheel well and you grab that out of there and pull it out of there. And then it'll go up into, you pull up to your wheel well area and put your last piece of hose on there to go to the expansion tank. That's the easiest way to do it. I've tried all kinds of different other ways of doing it. That has been the easiest way of doing it. And I can change out a gas tank pretty fast doing it that way. Usually what happens if you don't do it that way, you just leave the hose here. As soon as you put the tank up, one of these two sides gets pinched between this and the frame, then you drop the tank back down, get it out. It's like just all this stupid work. Also, before you put the tank up fully underneath, you have to make sure you plug in this level sending unit, or you'll be hating that because there is no way to get to it once it is up into the car. Okay. What else? Let me spin just a little bit if it'll let me do it. Okay, this opening here, you have to make note of what size it is if your van is an 84. Okay, 80 to 84 has a bigger opening than this. You have to order a completely different tank. If you have 84 with a plastic filler neck and newer two-wheel drive, it has the smaller opening, and you're fine. Okay, and so that's. And this tank is for two-wheel drive vans only. It will work on pretty much any of them, as long as you have a plastic filler neck for it. If you have a Syncro, this tank looks nothing like your Syncro tank. The Syncro tank looks completely different. It's in a different location. This is up underneath of kind of where the passenger drivers sit in the front. The Syncro tank is actually in the back above the transmission. And as one of you guys know, if you ever want to take it out, you are going to be hating your life at that point. So,
did you have it in that way? Try to have it.
yeah, let me just set it over here for now.
I feel like it went in the
I
other
don't want
way.
to fight with it for 20 minutes. For 20 minutes on TV. Alright, that's not going to stay, but whatever. When it falls over, then you guys can laugh. Alright. Alright, take that.
Alright, I'll put it back. What about this?
Alright, so, yeah, I don't know. Alright, do we have any more questions?
Shout out to Stash Traveler for joining us. He was talking about everything we're describing, such a tedious job, but well worth a new tank compared to old rusted one. And he said, I had the problem with the fuel tank cutting into my fuel sending unit, which caused gas leakage. Nice pointer for the sharp edges for the fuel sending units.
Yeah, it's just one of those things you learn after you do a bunch of these. It's hard when you do something the first time. Then you always make like lots of mistakes, and it takes like 50 million times of doing it to really get like a routine of how to do it and have it turn out nice like every single time. So yeah, it took me about 20 years to get to that point. So don't feel too bad.
Mace wants to know, can you mill out the hole for a pre-84?
No. Next question. It's got like a lip on it and stuff too, so you can't really just cut a new hole. It wouldn't work.
Billy says my 1/85 had the big fill neck.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why it shouldn't have, unless somebody retrofitted. Like the metal filler neck was only supposed to be 80 to 84, but yet there's all kinds of crazy stuff out there. People grab stuff like off a parts van and put it onto, another van, and then they call me like, oh, you sent me this and it's not right. I'm like, well, your van's at 87 or 89 or something. It's supposed to be. Oh, no, it has a metal filler neck. Like, oh my gosh. All right.
Mom said that whoever was calling might not have been watching the live stream, so like maybe they didn't know.
Yeah, probably didn't know. I am going to do something real quick though, which is get rid of my Gmail so that it won't at least make that noise anymore.
Inorganic says, when I fill up my tank, it doesn't fill up all the way, and I need to go back to gas station. I don't see any leaks. What else could be going on?
So it's not filling up all the way. So is the thing just kicking off? Like, and then do you try to put in more and it won't let you? That's what I'm wondering. Sometimes you can have a problem with the vent system. There's a charcoal canister that's located in the back wheel well on the passenger side, I believe. Yeah, it's on the passenger side. And if that charcoal canister gets so that it's not working properly, it won't let the air, like when you put gas into your tank, right? That's liquid going in there. There's air in there. It has to go out somewhere. So that's why we have the vent crossover piece and the two tanks in the front wheels. But then also there's a charcoal canister way back in the passenger side rear wheel well that allows that vapor to go through the charcoal and it traps in the gas vapor but lets the air go out. And so what can happen is that charcoal canister, the charcoal gets clumped all up because of age, and it can keep the air from going out. That'll make the gas thing kick off, okay? It won't let you fill all the way. So what you could do is take the charcoal canister off. It just has a big hose clamp on it, or there's like a mount that it's mounted to that has like a couple of screws on it. I think they're like 8mm or something like that. Take that off. Take the charcoal canister down. It's just a little can like this big, and tap it on the ground until you can hear the charcoal like shaking around like you're using a maraca. And after you get done doing a dance for the maraca, you put it back in, and that should fix it. So you don't even need a new charcoal canister. You just need to like take it and tap it on the ground a few times to get the charcoal like unclumpified. That's my word for that.
Billy said, "Don't spill the charcoal beads like this dummy did."
Billy got too excited dancing. That was what happened. He was using the maracas, and then his charcoal spilled out.
Inorganic was saying, "I have a synchro too," because like Mixmate said, "Oops, I have a synchro," and then Inorganic said, "I have a synchro too." Is on the driver's side, the canister and whatnot, and then so maybe the canister shot, and then
you could try tapping on it. And that, if that doesn't work, I think I can get you a new canister. Yeah, the synchro gas tank system is so different. They move everything all around and stuff. So you gotta when you have a synchro, you gotta interpret everything, through the synchro lens.
And Inorganic says you are the best.
Okie doke. All right, good job. Next week I'll have some maracas so we can play.
Shout out to Carl B for joining us. He says, "Hey Ken, have you ever modified or installed stronger power window motors?"
Well, no. They had these aftermarket ones that were available from, I think it was from Spain. They were aftermarket, and they had a window motor. It had like, instead of having the pulley system, which is what the stock power windows had, it had a screw jack system, which is like the manual cranks. And so at the time, the power window thing was expensive, the stock one. So you could buy these aftermarket ones pretty cheap. So I bought them from a company in Chicago called Electrical Life. Okay, they had them probably 10 years ago. And I installed them for people a few times. I sold a bunch of them. And I even made a retrofit kit where you could put power windows in your van if you had manual windows, and some people bought that. But the problem with those kits, the motors were actually a little bit weaker than the stock motors, and so you would like go to do it and it'd be like, and sometimes it didn't go all the way up. Sometimes it didn't come all the way down. It wasn't that great. So, usually if you have a stock power window motor and it's having a problem, it's usually because of the wiring. So check the door jamb areas. The wires will break like one strand at a time. Every time you open and close the doors, the wires and the door jambs are doing like the coat hanger effect. That's what I call it, where they're constantly flexing and things. And you'll have your wiring for your power windows. They'll still work, but they just get slower and slower because the wires get broken a little piece at a time until finally one day it'll stop working because it completely snaps. The other thing I found with the power window motors too, though, is that they're not sealed. So as your door isn't sealed, or if it is sealed, a lot of times there's scrapers that go at the bottom of the window went bad, they've decayed, and now all this water, every time it rains, water's coming in the door and going out the bottom, in the door, out the bottom. And it goes by that motor, and now the motor gets all rusty inside. So, so you either need a new motor, or you need to watch my video on how to take apart your power window motor and clean it and make it happy again. And that would make it faster, because it has these bushings inside. They freeze onto the shaft, and this thing still spins, it still turns, but now the thing's frozen. Yeah, it turns real slow. Or not at all.
Carl B says, "Will do, thanks. Passenger side is pretty slow."
Yeah, it could be the motor itself. Like I said, the bushings, they just get frozen on that shaft. And then instead of spinning like they're supposed to real nice, they'll just, like, the whole thing will spin if it still spins, and it goes really slow, too. Plus, it needs a lot more electricity to do that.
Billy says, "Have you got a passenger side power window set up? If so, it's sold."
I could put one together for you. I have aftermarket, like OEM window regulators that we sell, and we also have these aftermarket OEM style motors that we sell. So I'd have to put it together as a kit. But I don't think Billy's van has, like, he doesn't have power windows now, so we'd have to, like, also send him some other pieces and parts. But I mean, anything's possible as long as you got enough money. So again, just send me that blank check. That'll be fine. We'll fill it in and we'll send it on the way. There you go. That's the easiest way to buy stuff from me. Good.
Texas Boy says, "Cool shades, dude," and also, "Hey, Chippy Pup."
All right.
Texas Boy, say hi.
There you go. Texas Boy, say hi to Papa over there. He says hi back. He's just over here being a guest star today on the show. I haven't let him say anything yet, though, except hi right then. But
Stash Traveler loves manual windows. He's like, "Manual windows all day."
manual windows work good usually. And I don't know if you guys know about this, but even the original ones, they hold up really well. There's one little tiny plastic piece that goes bad, and we actually make that. Let me go see if I can grab it real fast off the shelf.
Billy just says about the passenger side window thing. "Okay, next month's project."
He says what?
Okay, next month's project.
Yeah, Billy just he keeps sending me. He sends me all his money every month, which is great. But then he runs out of money. Then he sends me pictures of him in the in the bread line at the soup kitchen and everything. But there's always sacrifice. Nothing comes without sacrifice. All right, so, I'm just kidding. So this little piece here, we sell these for I think $29, which I know is a lot for what it is. But like what happens is your manual windows, as you're cranking them up, they'll go up pretty smooth. Then when you go to crank them down, it's like drip, 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 drip. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't come down smooth. It's just doing this number. And you might not even notice it unless now I told you, now you'll definitely notice it. So what happens is this little piece of plastic goes bad, and instead of it being like held and going up and down real smooth, now it's doing this number. It's banging all around because this whole block is just completely missing. Sometimes they'll come off the track and stuff. And so, these are on our website. I think it's called Window Plastic Part 1 or something like that. You can buy your very own one of these and repair your OE regulators, the manual window regulators, and be back online again with that. So that's my recommendation on that. We do have some aftermarket window regulators that work, manual ones that work okay. They are made by JP Group. They work okay as far as I'm concerned. How you can tell the aftermarket ones, there's some out there that are ridiculously cheap. There's some out there that are like super expensive. And the only way I can tell good ones from bad ones is if it says JP Group on it, like laser etched on it, it's okay. If it doesn't, if it's blank, it's garbage. And you can grab like where you put the handle on, okay? If you can do that and you can turn it and it'll go ding, 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 it moves all around without doing anything, don't even put it in because it's complete crap. If you can grab that and the mechanism feels pretty tight, like there might be a little bit of play, but it's pretty tight, then you can put it in and it will probably be okay. All right, so anyway, that's my little ramble on that.
And Stash Traveler is like, "I have a problem with my butterfly window driver's side not staying open in the wind." And then when you were talking about what happens, it's like, that's exactly what happens, like with the window.
Yeah.
Yeah, his butterfly window driver's side is not staying open in the wind.
So that is at the base of it. There is a clamp that's clamping it and putting pressure on it to keep it, that way you can turn it whatever direction you want for a vent wing. You have to take the vent wing out to mess with it. That's the only bad part. So I have a video about the vent wing. It doesn't actually show how to take it out, unfortunately. I guess the next time I take one out, I'll have to do a video of that. And then I will have to have Leah highly edit out all the cursing.
What?
I know, I'm just kidding.
He's joking. That never
I'm just
happens.
joking. I don't try not to curse a lot, much, ever. To never. But if I do, I edit it out. I mean, it's bad, man. Taking them vent wings out is all the rest of the seals are not that bad. The vent wings, and actually doing the vent wing seals are not bad. It's just taking out the vent wings is brutal. Brutal. Okay.
Billy says, my driver's side window rocked back and forth. Why? I've never had it apart. I need window felt and whatever felt.
Yeah, it's probably the seals. Like the windows felt, okay? So a lot of times you're driving and you can hear all this whistling noise, you know, but it's not coming from you. Like you're not doing that whistle. It's actually like coming from your windows. You're like, what is wrong? And so if you look at that one seal that goes up the back of the window and across the top, if you look up at it, okay, it's supposed to have these two pieces that kind of go like this and grab the window on either side. And what happens is a piece of that will strip away just from age. And now that window is doing like this number. It's banging around in there between the two pieces. And air's getting in. It's making all this whistling noises. So usually if you can replace that piece that goes across the top and down the back, it's all one piece, that will stop 99% of the noises. The window won't rattle anymore and all that stuff. All right, Billy, but that's a whole nother month's worth of food. So, you know, you're going to be looking great with, like, you're going to be all ripped and everything. So that's a plus.
Stash Traveler says, thanks for the explanation. Mom had an idea, like, ask him up what's his favorite Volkswagen he has owned.
Yeah, what's your favorite Volkswagen you have owned? He's had a lot.
What's my favorite?
Yeah,
What's your favorite Volkswagen you've ever owned?
He's had all kinds of Volkswagens.
Oh, I like that last one I just got rid of.
Yeah, the blue Westie. We actually used to have matching blue Wolfsburg editions. Wolfsburg West, like it wasn't a full Westie, it was just like a Karat / Wolfsburg edition. They were both 89s. They were both what we call blue stars. Okay, so that means you have a blue, this weird color blue exterior. You have the fiberglass skirting all the way around, but that was also like a blue color instead of being gray. And it also had like a Karat style interior, but on the inside you had a gray dash, and you also had these like stripes on the seats that went like on diagonals. So it was a gray seats, but they had black stripes diagonally on them. And then the only other difference for this blue star, of course, you had the Wolfsburg badges, like you know, like this little badges on the fronts, the stinking badges. And then you also had a weird rectangular speaker that was in the wall by the table. I don't know what that was all about, but maybe it's like premium on the speakers. But so me and Dad all had the exact same van. And we would go places, and like he would go to Wawa, pull in, and then I would go to Wawa and pull in like right next to him, and people would be all like, when he would pull in, be like, "Oh wow, look at that cool old van," and then I would pull next to him like, "What?" Like it's the twin of it. No, they're multiplying. So we did that for a while. That was fun. We also had we had Rabbit trucks too, right? Remember that? And we would have he had a white Rabbit truck, an 80, like a diesel, what they call a caddy. And then I had an 81, where it was white, had a blue stripe down the side. Then he got a silver one, right? That was like an 81, 82-ish. They also had an 85 Jetta, two-door. Never see them. Two-door Jetta diesel. And now they've got a 2006 TDI. What color is that Jetta?
Blue.
He says blue. I say it's green.
It looks bluish greenish.
Green.
It's one of these colors that,
green.
yeah, it's
It's
different.
in between.
Different colors, different people. So they're still in the VW world. He had to sell his blue van because he wasn't really using it anymore, and I sold mine too. I wasn't really using mine either. And the guy that bought it was this guy in Maine who was a really nice guy. We don't know what happened to him. He was going to take the trip all around the USA and everything, but I don't know what happened. I haven't heard from him in a while.
We've got a lot of activity going on. Earlier, Inorganic had asked, how do you test compression on your engine? Is it worth targeting over time? And then Mink said, Inorganic, I think it's once a year. Compression tells a lot. Like, do you think, is that right?
Yeah, you could check it once a year. I mean, I just had to do it yesterday for a customer that broke down here. He had bought a brand new engine from Go Westy, and he went on a trip to upstate New York. On the way back, it started making a noise. So we were doing a compression test yesterday, and it'll definitely tell you what's going on. Now, we did that compression test. It came out good. Every cylinder had 130, 135 on there, which is decent. If we had a different tester, maybe it would have been higher, lower, whatever. But then when I did a leak down test, it was showing one of the cylinders was having some kind of a ring issue, and that's what the noise wound up being. It's either a burnt piston or messed up rings or something on that one cylinder. So yeah, definitely compression tests are a good idea.
Okay, let's see. Willie Porter, welcome.
Willie!
Thanks for joining us. My driver's side window is very hard to wind up. Any help?
I mean, you could take it apart and lubricate the track in there with that white lithium grease and see if that helps. That can help. Sometimes it's just the seals around it too. If they're I know Willie's in Hawaii, so shout out to Hawaii guys. And whenever you guys are ready for me to come out there, just send me two plane tickets, one for me, one for my wife. I'm ready to come out. We're ready to peace out of New Jersey for a week and say aloha to Hawaii.
And Fran Murphy, thank you for
Hi,
joining
Fran.
us. She tuned
No, it's a
in.
dude.
He. I am terribly sorry.
Okay.
Please ignore our last statement.
Okay.
Okay. So he said, "What's with the shades?" And
What's with the shade?
I was gonna say it's free advertising for Serial Comedy.
It's
courtesy of
it's
them.
some swag I got from Serial Comedy. So I know they look crazy, but like I said, it actually helps me because I don't have to like worry about my eyeballs and they're looking at the screen and looking all cross-eyed and stuff. So you should have got here at the beginning. You would have known about it, Fran.
Yes. And he also said, can the surfaces on the screws of the rocker arms be that contact and cylinder valve stems be ground or filed to improve the surfaces, or are replacement screws available? 1989 Vanagon.
Yeah, I would just replace the screws with new ones. You know, the ends of the screws, the adjustment screws on the rocker arm, they actually have a heat treatment on the end to harden them. And if you get below that, they get soft. So there's no real way to machine them. You just want to put new ones in. We have them here. They're not really that expensive, I don't think. So that would be the way to go. You need 8.
Mm-hmm. And you're just like with the rocker arm screws atop of the valve stem. Some are 120.
Yep. I mean, the Go Westy engine had these little caps on the ends of the valve stems. I've never actually seen that before. I don't know if that would help anything or not. That might be one of their little secrets that I just revealed. I just blew all your minds.
Secret.
There you go. Get with their Go Westy secrets. I don't know why I'm talking like that, but there you go. Whenever I say secrets, it has to be like that.
Just funny.
All right. What else? Anything else?
There was something else.
She's searching. Searching.
So much. Everyone is being very vocal. I appreciate that. This is a lot of activity. There's 16 people watching.
Yeah, I mean, this is actually the biggest group of people we've had. I mean, Leah's watching, my wife's watching, everybody in my house is watching, so that's like 20. That's like 10 of those people right there. So we have 6 actual people on here right now. That's great.
Isn't that kind of cheating?
Yeah, it is cheating. We need to get up to 20, so I have to invite some more people to my house and give out free tablets so they can all watch.
Yep. SD was just like, Leah can run the shop.
Yeah, yep, she's getting trained for that. She's getting trained. Right now, when people call, she gets all like stuttery, like, hello, and things, but she's just learning.
I try my best, but usually, like, you guys are like, oh, I have questions about something, and then I'm just like, I don't know anything about that. Oh,
I'm
you
trying
can
to
send him an
train.
email. Like, you know, because I don't. He's the expert. He knows everything. I know nothing.
Well, she's gonna learn. She's learning.
I'm learning. I am learning.
I'm teaching her things, so stay tuned for that. Then she'll be running the live stream while I'm in Hawaii. See, I'll be in Hawaii on the beach. You want them drinks with a little umbrella in it, and these sunglasses on right here, because y'all love them and stuff. And then she'll be doing the live stream. I'll be watching it on my little phone on the beach.
Fran says, we'll order 8 screws. Actually started. What is that word? M-I-C-C-I-N-G.
I guess he's miking things.
The
Getting ready.
crank
Okay.
today. We'll get you the bearing specs tomorrow so you can fill that order.
Yep. Yeah. Fran is rebuilding his engine from an engine fire. So
Wow.
a lot of stuff happening that way. I actually had another customer had an engine fire down in Georgia. He just bought a wiring harness from us for 1.9. So
Stash Traveler says you can go live on Instagram. There's a huge fan society that would totally tune in.
a live on Instagram. We'll have to give it a shot. I wish you could just do both at the same time. I mean,
It would echo a lot.
yeah, well, yeah, I don't want to echo, but it's just hard. Oh, you know what? You know what time it is, everyone? It's time for the end of the show. So I want to thank all the little people that made this happen,
Time to say goodbye.
like myself and Leah. That's pretty much it. So there you go. And she's way taller than that. She's actually standing in. There's a hole in the floor right here. She's like 7 feet tall.
No. I'm only 4'8".
So I'd like to thank all you guys for coming. All you people that are Saturday morning cartoon watchers, shout out to all y'all. And hope you enjoyed the show today. If you have any questions, again, next week, definitely put them in the comments and we will try to address them. Next week, I'm going to put a link on the playlist for the backup camera so you guys can buy it if you want to this weekend. I still need to do one more video about how to run the wiring and stuff like that, but it's pretty easy. I mean, the whole thing could be up and running in like an hour, and then we just need to, see how it's going to hold up. So thanks, guys, for coming. Please thumbs up. Please like, subscribe. And if you want to donate, again, the link is in the description. We always appreciate that. And if you donate, we will shout out to you next time. Now, this week, last 2 weeks, because you punished us last week because we weren't actually live, we didn't get any donations. So, sorry about that. But if you donate this week, we will shout your name out next week. And whatever, if you want me to say something in my awesome voice, I will say it. Okay? All right, guys, have a great weekend.
Goodbye, Papa.
Say goodbye to my father. And we will see you guys same bat time, same bat channel next week, getting more miles per gallon with your Pentagon. Bye.